Someday, the Nice Game Shop is gonna close and all the Asian games will be gone. But today is not this day.
It will be
In
like
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Hello, everyone.
Hello, this is Francisco and Simon from the Nice Game headquarters. And today we have a very special episode of our weekly spotlight.
Today we show you
The 7 games from the Nice Game Shop that you most should get.
like now, because as you may know, this is the last week. Until the 24th, you will have time to get some of the games that we have on the shop, the ones that are from Asia, and then on, they won't be there anymore.
It will be the end
The end.
of a lot of things and the beginning of many new things. But for now, let's take a look at these games that we've thought about. Francisco and me, we spent quite a bit of time going through the catalog, thinking about what we're most sad about, really, that we can't continue selling it. Right, what's the first game, Francisco? The top 7 game.
So I think the game I would mention first is Here Comes the Dog by the Japanese publisher Iten.
Yes.
It's a game that we play on the screen, so you will see like how it plays. But it's a very nice game that I think like if it were made just with cards, it wouldn't be the same. Like it would be, it's possible, but it doesn't have like that extra thing with these smaller components, because you play like taking resources from the fire in the center of the table, and then you use these different resources to scare dogs or feed them, and then you get points and so on. And I think it's a game that the components really bring it to the next level. And I think Iten deserves like a place on the not only because of this game, but before because of all.
We sold a lot of Tokyo Highway, and that was also another great game by Iten.
So even if you don't get this game, just check around, because Iten, they have some really great games around.
My first game is actually a game that we've also played on camera, but it's, I think, 2 years ago or something. It's Dare to Love by Miso Games. The reason I think it's going to be very sad that we can't keep selling this is, first of all, it's very, very beautiful. I think you can see that just from the box, but in general also the components and everything. And secondly, it's also a game that really does a thing that I respect generally in games, which is bring in fresh perspectives and fresh themes, also in a not from the mechanics, but from the story and setting and so on and so forth. And so in that game, which is LGBTQ friendly, you are fighting for love and for the possibility of everyone to love whoever they want, against this evil person who wants to tell other people how to do that. And I thought, when I first saw that, I thought that was just a very fresh and very brave thing to do, and it's done in such a beautiful way as well. So I will be sad when this is gone. What's your next game?
So next, I think I will mention my Dungeon Boss Never Lie. I think it's also a game that we played a few months ago with 3 players. You can play from 3 to 5. And it's also like a very quick, easy to understand game where you're fulfilling this task, like this work task, and every player contributes with some work for this task to be completed. And it has like some elements of like hidden information and bluffing and so on. But it also has like some strategy, and I think for like a 20-minute game, for 3-4 people, I think it's pretty interesting.
We had quite a bit of fun, and in a sense, the game where you try to get the job done without the boss getting angry, but doing the least amount you can. It's
Like
basically very
real
much
life.
like nice game. So maybe that is another reason.
Like planning this video for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no,
It's working.
perfect. Right. My next game is actually the game that we have played last week. Something is Missing. I really enjoyed our play of this game. I think it is beautifully illustrated. I think one thing about this game is it's going to be really hard to make this into an international version, because the illustrations and everything, it's a very special atmosphere that comes from it, and I'm not sure if it can be replicated easily. Basically, if you would do this as a German version, you would have to redraw all the pictures in some sense. Not because these are bad, but because it's just very
It's a
different.
different culture and different items and so
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
And so I was fascinated by this, and also I wanted to make some kind of joke with something is missing from your collection. Or something like that.
But I think we made like a similar joke when we play it, so I think it's a bit overused.
No, it's a running gag. It's
Ah.
good. It's extra good for that reason, because we're making it again and again. At least I'm claiming this now.
So my next game would be Animal Mind. This is from Japan, and it's also a game that we played. It's for 2 to 4 people, and I really like it because it's super easy to teach, also very fast. It's a game where you are like a merchant. Of course, you are an animal, because that's how things work, and you want to collect different items, but you get information from another player, but the player only tells you the value of the item and the type of item.
One of these, right?
Yeah,
Only one of these.
And you can either accept or reject. But the accept and reject are actually like resources that you use, because every time you accept something, you have to turn it to a reject. So if you accept many times in a row, you will end up with only rejects. So it's a very interesting game, because you have to kind of also plan kind of ahead, so you don't run out of accepts or rejects. So you have like different resources to use, but also a lot of bluffing and kind of mind reading a bit.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun. As we played, there were like a lot of like funny moments, and
Yeah, I remember it was one of the games in the weekly spotlights where afterwards we were like, oh, this was really a lot of fun. Now comes the top 2. I actually almost could not carry this here. It's this huge box, Rising 5 Deluxe Edition. One of the things that we did check a little bit, or that we thought about a little bit as well, was like, where could you get these games if you once the Nice Game Shop closes? Lots of them will be a little bit hard. I think this one will be very hard as well. It's from the original Kickstarter. It's by a bunch of guys that I like quite a lot from Korea. It's beautifully illustrated by Vincent Dutre. And it has these wonderful minis. The basic idea of the game is that this is like a cooperative game, and it has an app integration where you're trying to solve the code to an interstellar portal, which is kind of like a mastermind mechanism that the app is handling for you. And at the time, I was also quite like, this was one of those fresh things that you'd never seen before that really blew me away at the time. So I really like this game, and it will be very sad when we can't sell it anymore in just a few weeks.
so what's the number 1?
The number 1, of course, Francisco, as you well know, is Not a game, but an item, an item in the shop, and that is our nice game mystery box. And that is because, of course, what Francisco and me have talked about now is just a very small sample of these hundreds of games that we have, and we limited ourselves quite a lot. There's a bunch of really great games that we couldn't even talk about today. And so the best way to get a sample of that is actually to just get the mystery box.
So for value, you can beat the mystery box.
And also, I think if you really want something surprising, it's just very nice to go for that, because you will definitely be surprised if you don't know what you're ordering.
Yeah, so that's our top 7. Remember that this is the last time you will be able to see these games on the shop. So we will have them also, these games that we mentioned, on discount.
So yeah, this is the last chance to get them for the foreseeable future, and we hope you check it out and have fun. That's it. Goodbye, everyone.
And don't forget to comment and subscribe and like and everything.
Yes, of course.
Hey. Ciao.
And we're not, I mean, it's not like we're putting shit games in there or something, because we don't have any. Wow, cut that part.
Just as you said, I was gonna cut that.